Daddy Long that guy. And shout out to Red Light Crew.
Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
Yeah, you know what? To find that better, I think the key there is... Zero cat. I just lost my train of thought.
Hello, coming to you from the basement of Little Brick. This is Real Life, episode 155. I'm Tyler Uremchuk, and we got our regular starting lineup in attendance here today. Wanye, Bagged Milk, Jay, Chalmers is even here. I can't see him behind the fancy new monitor we have set up.
Hello.
But everyone's here. This is exciting. I like when we can get the gang together.
Very exciting. Feels good.
It's looking good in here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like, thoughts?
It's drywalled in. We've got like
we're starting to get
sound
the acoustic
stuff.
sound on the roof.
A coat hook.
The green screen
Coat
looks
hook, where?
legit.
I use this as a coat hook. It's not actually meant to be a coat hook. I just use it as one, but...
All the cords are coiled.
Any hook could be a code hook if you believe Tyler.
Somebody put some hours in down here.
There is like 1,000 cords.
Should we frame in this furnace thing here,
Yeah,
Charles?
Nah, that's fine.
Well, I want to put this all over all of it. And can you put that directly on that venting?
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, fuck it.
Not a good idea.
Chalmers, you lost your opportunity to have any sort of say in this.
No, you still got
video.
creative control.
Yeah, well, as long as I'm not doing
creditor
it.
too.
Yeah, when no one was watching, Chalmers vaulted off the construction team onto co-host.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it directly on a heat duct and
Yeah,
vent. But
we could like box that out though.
But
and,
what's
like,
the
it would-
worst thing that could happen?
Oh, it just catches on fire.
Yeah, see?
This house is made of brick. Bring it on.
All right.
I was going to make a joke about insurance money, but then I realized that is very incriminating and should not be said on any sort of podcast, no matter how
You're
many
right. We
listeners
should
have.
stuff it with oily rags.
The temperature that it is down here, do these things actually even work?
Yeah, Chalmers, it's like -4 quadrillion out.
It's because
zero
the
right now.
thermostat that runs
Yeah,
off
but
of
it's
is
still running the
upstairs
cold
where it's
of-
nice and warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that cold down here.
I'm
No,
actually
it's
like
'cause it's-
sweating.
It's because it's -1 outside and not -30 like it was last week.
You know who else is sweating? Brandon Manning.
Oh, yeah.
Topical. Yeah,
That is topical.
He's in the
Did
heat
someone
too.
say perfect game?
Thank you. Yeah, he's in the heat. That was well done. If only Brandon Manning had given us a hint with some of his behavior before we traded for him. If only he'd done something piece of shitty that would have told us maybe we shouldn't trade for this
So
guy.
Bag Milk, tell everybody what he did, because I don't think I could explain it as well as you could.
Because you have no idea what's going
I have
on.
no idea what he did. Well, no, I know that he was.
The
I know,
gist of it.
I know that I got a message from a friend of mine that said he just
Triggered.
got kicked out of a game in a 10-minute misconduct for roughing in front of the net, and that doesn't usually happen. Meaning, he had to have said something.
According to the release, Brandon Manning was suspended 5 games in the American Hockey League for using a racial slur towards an opponent.
Can't do that. What the fuck is he thinking?
From a hockey perspective, this is interesting because I don't know where you kind of go from this. Like, the Oilers could very easily just be like, we've suspended him for the rest of the season.
But is that
that's that.
appropriate? Like, does everybody get the death penalty?
If you want to get out of the contract, though, you could
Yeah, well,
say...
at the end of his 2-year deal, like he's done in 3 months.
Yeah, but that cap space would be real
Sure, but
nice
like-
come traded line.
Is that like really something said on the? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Here. Something said on the ice.
It shouldn't be canceled. You
shouldn't be like grounds for you to be released from your contract. I get JU on Brandon Manning to be shot over the moon. I get that, but like, does it open up a precedent that like anybody who's a bad contract is now concerned if they do anything bad that they can have it canceled on?
No, but it's because of like the severity of the action. I think is why it could be like there was an NHLer that had came across the border with a suitcase full of pills and got busted, and then the team terminated his contract. Right, so that's for conduct.
Yeah.
So I think that application applies.
But where on the
but
scale,
also-
right? Like this isn't as bad as that.
No,
Well,
but in every case...
No. But look what just happened in as recent as like 6 weeks ago with Bill Peters.
Yeah.
And this is something he did like 10 years ago.
This is the bad precedent that gets set in cancel culture.
And used, those things. And now he wasn't technically fired or terminated from his contract. He resigned.
Yeah.
So there was some kind of arrangement there, but
I don't think this is like full on cancel culture, because this has been happening in sports for a long time, way before cancel culture started. Like organizations use any excuse possible to get out of bad contracts. They've done it with, I think A-Rod.
Well, the NFL is like, why? What A-Rod do?
Well, steroids.
They canceled A-Rod's contract because of steroids?
He got suspended for a year, but they didn't bring him back.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. He came back and played.
For the Yankees.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
It was terrible because he wasn't on steroids.
He came
For real.
back.
Yeah, he came back.
And he wasn't any good.
Yeah.
He was
Because he wasn't on the juice no
He has
more.
made a huge
just had
180
warning
though.
track.
He has had a resurgence.
Now?
Oh my God, he's
Because
on-
he's with J-Lo and those convenient relationships.
A-Rod has made the change to good guy now.
He's one of the best analysts.
Isn't
out
he on
there.
Shark Tank sometimes?
Yeah, I think so. Or he's on something like that. Warren Buffett's like one of his mentors.
Well, that's just great. He's a goof. And Brandon Manning, although that's racist and terrible, I don't think that you should be like terminated from your contract.
I don't know. I could definitely see the Oilers making it like, we don't want Brandon Manning around. Like, we've decided to suspend him indefinitely, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, the fact that they released a statement on Manning's behalf tells me it won't happen.
Yeah.
And Manning did kind of say in his statement, like, he had a chance to talk to the player after and apologize, and he's grateful for that.
Do we know exactly what happened?
No.
We just know something was said.
Yeah, we don't know
So,
who the.
You need to know. You need to do an investigation. You need to know the whole truth and the whole story before you can kind of just say,
But-
gone or stay.
If the Oilers did want to get out of this, it would be easy to do it right now, and everybody would forget in 3 days because that's just the way the news.
Oh, yeah. It seems like Bill Peters got fired 6 months ago.
It does.
But it took the Flames and him like 7 days to come to that arrangement for the departure.
I don't even remember what happened to Bill Peters because it was like fucking one day I heard about it, and the next day it was just done.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It was a pretty wild time because that was right when the Don Cherry thing was popping off,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And it seemed
It was like the small Me Too
The
movement.
mob was just like in full.
Yeah. The small canceling.
That's the mob Chalmers. You go on social media and everybody's in a state of and you look at the top thing trending on Twitter.
What's the biggest thing right now?
Well, what is everybody?
Today. What's everybody complaining
Well,
about?
Bernie Sanders, Hillary
saying
Clinton said
about-
no one likes him.
What about what he said about Elizabeth Warren?
Well, and so this is what this is what they're about right now. I was watching Bernie Sanders and they're like, Bernie, are you sure you got it in you? You're 78 years old. And Bernie looked at the camera like determined. He's oh yeah, I'm fine. Like, how many 78-year-olds do you know that could take the rigors of an election? And yet Joe Biden's 75, I think.
Let alone wipe themselves after going to the toilet.
Yeah, most like people that age are like, well, I suppose it's time to just shut her down. Instead, he's like, I guess I'll just go run the free world. I'm 78 years old.
I don't know why you'd want to do that at 78. The fuck is wrong?
Your
with you?
mental
care about the
fortitude.
people.
Yeah, you're like a
guess.
call to public duty, right?
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton's statement was like, nobody likes Bernie and he lives in a fantasy land and no one wants to work with him.
At 78, all I'm going to care about is what rye I have and what pool I'm in all day
Oh, nice.
and what city in Phoenix it is.
What city in Phoenix it is?
I mean, what
You are
city in
78.
Arizona? Yeah, no,
Just said
because
it.
there's a whole greater Phoenix area where there's like Glendale and
yes, the
Scottsdale
GPA.
and Chandler and
And so you're just going
All
to
these
stand in your pool in Chandler with a rye for 40 years.
You are a Chandler
yeah,
guy.
man. I am a Chandler guy. Man, that's living. That's living.
I believe you, man.
Do you know how much healthcare costs though, just to like have healthcare insurance?
Well,
when
you
you're
got
there?
to come back. You got to play
You got
the
every
system.
6 months. Yeah.
Yep.
I know
Yeah.
guys that fly there and then fly back, like to the day. Like the day that it's up, they fly home, they stay overnight at their house, and then fly right back.
No, 'cause
Why do they
it's,
even
it's,
have a house?
it's
They do
in-
have what's
I thought it's like
that?
192 days
It's
a
in
year.
a
or something.
calendar year, though.
Yeah.
You can't be as sneaky as what you think they're doing.
I think. Well, maybe they're doing something
Or
different.
maybe it's like a new year, so they who knows? I'm not here to
They're
drill down
flagpole.
on that.
Anyway,
leave
so
and
now
come
we know
back.
Chalmers'
Yeah.
retirement
I'm a
plans. Everyone
Tucson
else?
man anyway, so
Yeah.
No, I like where you're going, Chalmers. So,
like-
so that's the plan, eh? Just
Yeah.
go down and
I'll have a TV outside so I
Nice.
can watch sports on it.
yeah.
I love outdoor living rooms.
Oh,
I
that's
see
the
you
best.
standing in a pool with a drink, like staring at your television,
Staring at a college
90.
basketball
Yeah.
game that you're betting on.
living.
Oh God, that's the life.
That
Imagine
is-
just betting all
that
day,
is.
every day.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
have like a fund. There's gonna be funds for like meals and entertainment because
Of
that's
course.
gonna be expensive.
Well, especially when you're older.
Grandkids education.
Grandkids,
they're on their own. They'll be all right.
Jeez. Grandpas pay for their.
Who's got
They'll
that
be
kind
all
of
right.
generational wealth?
Yeah, they'll be all right.
My God.
They'll go to space college on their
I'll
own
teach
merit.
my kids how to save for their own kids' education.
That's right.
I ain't doing
Exactly.
it.
That's good life skills. That's good parenting.
Yeah, and then just like
If you mule
gambling
one brick of coke, son, your life will change
Just
forever.
one. But you might
It'll
get
be-
hooked. Don't get
I was
hooked.
gonna say-
Don't try it, but one brick of coke, and you'll be going to whatever community college you want.
That's,
Two bricks of
that's
coke.
like the first time I ever put a bet on the Super Bowl, though.
With-
it was like
It was with a
yeah, it'd be fun.
brick of Coke?
Yeah.
No. But if you do that once,
Was when you were
guaranteed, you're
flush
man,
from
that was
having-
fucking easy.
Oh, I see.
And now I can bet more, and now I
No.
can drink more, and now
That's
I
when you
can
got to be a
eat this
good
food
parent,
I'm
and you got to
taking.
step back in and say, "I told you about coke muling for a reason, to do one deal."
There's a great movie to reference about how just, it's like a bridge too far. Like the load, you wouldn't one load too many. Like just keep it tight. One load, maybe two.
Let's just
There's
Like,
got to be.
and if there's no hiccups in the first two, maybe you push your luck
Let's
off
say
it.
you wanted
but
to-
don't go more than a third unless the third one went really good.
and you're starting to develop a system.
But this is where no. There's got to be criminals. If you went down to like Panama and floated around and looked at everybody, there's got to be some criminals down there. They're like, I had the discipline to do one big score and then check the fuck out like Chalmers and stood in my
question.
pool.
That's what I'm
Here's
saying,
my
like-
question: how do you go exactly? How do you get into coke muling for one time? You just fly to Mexico and be like, anybody need a coke mule? Like, what? I don't know how that goes.
As the movie goes, he was just at a party for his daughter, who he's a little bit estranged with, and he just started talking, and he got approached by one of the guys at the party because I think he talked about something about having a clean driving record or something, or he's looking for a job because his flower shop just closed. So he was in need of something. So I think the guy kind of sensed the desperateness and the fact that it's an older gentleman, a little bit more incognito. And they had a conversation, and then he did it. And then he kept kind of rising up the ranks, giving money to the kids.
Yeah.
Now
Is
he
this
wasn't
the Clint
driving a
Eastwood
jalopy.
movie?
Yes, he wasn't driving a jalopy.
Yeah.
He's now driving like a
Brick by brick.
a Denali Sierra.
there's his
Like
first
it's
mistake.
all kind of leveling up. And then Bradley Cooper's on the case, and he's kind of throwing him off the scent. So I think the minute you mule up until the point, like, this is when you stop muling. The minute the cartel gives you a nickname,
You gotta
you're
get
in
out.
too deep. You
No.
got to get the fuck out.
If you went down Chalmers, I'd go to like Colombia and I'd go to the most expensive nightclub I could find. And then I would go and run up a bill of $10,000. And then the really high end drug dealers would find me. And then they would come over and I'd be like, here's a sitch, bro. Clean driving record. Haven't rented a jet ever in my life.
Yeah.
Let's Juice World this thing without the seizure at the airport.
Well,
And
getting a pilot's license
they brought
actually might be
They had
handy.
78 kilograms of weed in his private jet. And then he had a big bag of something or other.
Who's this?
Juice World,
Juice
this
WRLD.
rapper that died.
Yeah.
Because then they
Juice
caught
WRLD.
him with a bunch of pills and he took them all at the airport and then
Or you spend a year doing prep, right? Stretching out the suitcase, if you know what I'm saying. And then you do
on.
one run.
yeah.
One run.
But
That's
this is
so
a
much.
family
You can't get
podcast.
72 kilograms of yayo up your
I was
yayo.
gonna say, is this the suitcase I'm thinking? Did
I like the driving, but also what he also did is he drove within the states. So he was moving, I think, from New Mexico to
Smart.
Illinois. So you also want to be smart because
That's not where the margin is. The margin is you go to Medellin.
But then it's a volume game.
Sure,
at that
but that's
point.
when you're going to
the
get
risky
caught.
thing.
But that's when you're going to get caught. You go to Medellin with like $100,000 and a private jet,
But if
and you
you're-
say, "I'm ready to do a deal tonight." Nightclub.
You're
deep.
good at it for the first two.
No more.
You think
That's
they're
when you
gonna
get
let
busted.
go? Oh, yeah, they're just going to let you go.
One and done.
Because what
I don't
Wanye is
know, man.
suggesting is more of like a direct consumer approach. Because in the mule, I think there's been like multiple middlemen.
Yeah,
so the money to be made
A
is
mule's
less.
a chump.
Yeah,
you want to go down the
you wanna
private
go
jet.
from supplier to distributor.
No middleman. Then you land here with a whole different set of problems. But the odds are they're never going to see a first-time jet renter getting in huge shit because they're not going to have like, hey, this guy's always coming between Medellin and Edmonton
Well,
directly. And he
They
seems to
never
buy a
find
new
that.
Ferrari every week. One and done, Chalmers. Then you
And
get it
it's there
here.
for 24 hours.
Then on this end, you've already prepped yourself one of these cool spaces in the ground that you dug out, and then you have like styrofoam on top with a chain.
Yeah.
And then you like put dirt and shit on it.
Yeah.
But when you want to pull that out of the ground, you got yourself like 800 square feet, plenty of area to put all the yayo that just came in your jet.
When we were on that bus going between Buffalo and Toronto,
We could have done a run.
But
One
when
and
I-
done. One and done.
Yep.
but I didn't have anything of anything, and I walked in there and I was just like, you just get nervous.
Private
Oh,
jet, you don't
always.
go through security. They come on your plane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
You don't have to sweat. They come on. You have a Ryan Coke
What if
going.
they
You're
have a
standing
dog?
in a pool.
What
And
if they have a dog? Like a sniffing dog.
yes, you just encase it in porcelain. Chalmers will work out the details. Basically, all I need you to do is go to Medellin.
What
with me.
if? But that's why it's a
be a
one and done
sport.
because the percentage of having a dog or not, and that's why you also got to be very tactful on the airport you land in. So maybe you should land somewhere
In
else.
Mayo.
That land somewhere else and then come into the country.
And it's like
landed in Villeneuve.
You have to have enough money that
No, good
spinning
air
the
show.
wheel, Chalmers, once says it's like 50% chance there's a dog, 50% chance it doesn't work down there. You have a 1 in 8 chance of the number being so big that it's worth the shot. Not like I'm going to take one bale of terribly grown Indiana outdoor weed to another state for $1, but face all the penalties of
unlimited rise, unlimited sports gambling, and a 90-inch TV in your 5,000 square foot
This sounds
Chandler,
doable.
Arizona home.
This
One and
sounds
done.
doable.
That's what's on the table.
What happened? How'd you make all that money that you just go,
One
I
and
was
done.
really good at poker for a while, man. Put my license plate on my boat. One and done.
One and done.
One and done. That's what my boat's called.
Well, you guys have been busy talking about illegally transporting things. Our friends at Japa are busy legally transporting jet fuel from Edmonton to Calgary. That's a part of their project. That's the kind of stuff they can do.
Wait a minute. They're moving jet fuel?
Did you know there's a pipeline running between Edmonton and Calgary carrying jet fuel? Japa was fortunate enough to have sent some equipment for a customer to work on that project. That's the kind of shit Japa's doing, guys. That's why they're our sponsor.
You know what? They're good
They think
people. The
big.
fact that they want to help Calgary it just shows how, salt of the earth they are.
Yeah.
Could you send cocaine back up the pipeline from Calgary if you were to say land at the Airdrie?
Again,
airport?
this is the sponsored part of the show, so please.
I wouldn't recommend Japa get involved. There's too many staff there, and there'd be snitches.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. They're doing that.
You got to keep your crew
I saw the
tight, you know?
Instagram video for them. They have good
Involve no
I love it. That's how I knew about
Yeah.
it.
No
Follow
assistance,
them on
no
Instagram.
friends about. You don't tell any friends you're doing it.
Yeah.
I've been training
One and
pigeons to
done.
carry things, messages around.
Pipelining
No
for
text.
decades.
Well, and I think there's a lot of pipelines in our future, so I can see Japa being very busy here in the near future, which they're always busy anyways because their service is so good.
Yep.
And the people that work there are amazing.
And they've
If
got
you're-
fair prices on rentals and equipment as well. I've been
If
told.
you're sitting there right now and you're a high up with some fancy company, you need equipment, or maybe you know someone who is, Japa Equipment, or
Fancy company.
JapaMachinery.com.
or maybe
If you need to move some earth,
maybe it's just cold outside and you want to use their golf simulator.
Yeah.
I have one in the
Go,
office.
pretend to be interested.
Yeah.
Chalmers, you remember back in the day in Costco, they had those tubes and the cashiers would put the money in the
oh,
tube.
the pneumatic
I love
tubes.
those things.
Could
yeah.
I run a pneumatic tube with the same type of equipment from Edmonton to Medellin directly? Like a
Underground?
it's a
Hyperloop.
little tiny pipeline. It only has to be like
yeah.
4 inches in diameter. That's what she said.
Underground?
Yeah, like 4 feet.
That's
underground.
girthy.
It's huge.
There'd be a lot of air pressure to get it from there to here.
You want to hear why I'm mad at Katie Lang?
Yes, I do. I've been waiting for this. Let's get an arcade.
And this is where Yemtrek times
Wait.
out.
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
Japa is uniting Edmonton and Calgary, and so was Salmon Yeg on Twitter. I wanted to quickly
Oh,
plug.
yes.
She'll be joining us at the end of this podcast to chat a little bit about her charity thing.
Good on her.
Katie Lango.
Say,
On the-
wait. Say what she did.
Well,
I don't think like
We'll talk about that. What are you talking about? Say
So
what Katie
interview
Lang
at the
did, or
end.
say what Sam and Yeg
no
did?
what Sam did. I mean, people can
She's
wait till
getting
the very
interviewed.
end.
They haven't-
Yeah, no. That's the cliffhanger, Chalmers. We're gonna
Yeah.
keep them on.
we'll get to it at the
tease.
50-minute mark.
This is how
at
you
the
get
5-0.
5-star ratings on a podcast. You just drag them along and just
Okay.
tease them.
Katie Lang, Katie Lang.
Katie Lang.
To be honest, I thought you were talking about Katie Hobbins at first. That you had beef with her.
No.
Local social media.
No.
Social media legend.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
No.
What does
Katie
the
Lang
KD stand for?
Okay, so here's the situation.
Yes.
There's this dude down in Riverdale who's the Riverdale historian, and he did this historical walk, and I went with him. This is where Little Brick is in Edmonton, is this neighborhood. And we walked past this house, Chalmers, and he pointed at this house and goes, see this little purple house right here? That's where K.D. Lang wrote part of her first album ever.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Then we're doing a sponsored post on the Little Brick Edmonton River Valley Instagram account. Sometimes we do sponsored posts for realtors who are selling houses down here.
Yeah.
And the realtor goes, here's my house. This house is for sale. It's this little purple house. Katie Lang used to live here.
That is 2 sources now.
I go, oh,
You
the
need
Katie
a
Lang.
third to confirm and go with live with the story. Just
We'll
so you
get
know.
there. Don't you worry about that. So I'm like, cool. The Katie Lang house is for sale. So I put the post up and I say, this house is for sale. Katie Lang used to live here, and tagged her because,
That's what you do.
that's what you do in 2020.
yeah.
She comes into the comments and goes, ... Nope.
Like she led with the dots.
Like, and then a bunch of dots.
And then a bunch of dots.
Nope. Like that.
She's so dramatic.
So I'm like,
That's
oh
so
my
fetch.
God, I lied about Katie Lang. I feel terrible about myself. So I send her a DM. Very Edmontonian. I say, you won't believe the urban legends in Riverdale in 2020. I've heard from numerous people, and the people who live in this house think this is your old house.
That's the third.
Read no reply.
Oh.
So then the realtor reaches out and goes, gee whiz, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know why that lie got made up about this house. The people selling this house were told when they bought this house, Katie Lang used to live here.
And an historian from down here said it as well.
So we got 3 scenarios. 1, Katie Lang used to live in this house and doesn't want her name brought up in the marketing of it.
She's got a brand.
Maybe she didn't
Perhaps.
like the tenants and that she doesn't want them to make any extra money off of the house.
I suspect it'd be a different landlord because it was probably 30
She
years
doesn't
ago.
care.
right?
I mean, like, just think about
the person who owns that house now never rented it out. They moved in and lived there. When she lived there, it was a rental house.
Right. Maybe it's just the house that she doesn't want to help, period.
So she's like, I don't want to remember my terrible days in a cute little house next to the river. That's scenario 1.
Yeah, valid.
Scenario 2 is She did never live there, but someone a long time ago started up a rumor that she lived there, and it's just propagated.
That's
because
a weird rumor.
People like to be involved with stuff.
This is why Winnipeg doesn't have an airport.
Exactly. Legitimately, Jamie Sally and David Pelche bought my childhood house I lived in and gutted it all and renovated
in
it all.
Riverbend?
No, in Glenora. And I hate them forever because they gutted my childhood home and it's unrecognizable. If like 30 years from now, someone was like, this used to be Jamie Sally's house and it's for sale. And she went on there and was like, nope.
Yeah.
I'd be like, pretty sure you live there. The third option is that she did live there, but just wants to be mean.
Like, well, maybe she comes from a broken home, and
But
maybe
this is when she was an adult writing albums and shit. She was born in Consort. I looked it all up.
Well, yeah, actually,
Where were you going with the broken home
at?
Maybe just
angle?
Unpleasant memory.
Yeah, unpleasant memory. Like that's where my dad, like my alcoholic dad, used
right,
to
but
whatever.
she wrote her first album there.
I think she
which means it
wrote
was in,
Constant
like,
Craving living in this house, not the horrible life.
That's a
you're
good
imagining.
jam.
It is
That's
a good jam.
That's a
well,
good
this is
jam.
why I have beef. I like Katie Lang, or did, until she started fuxing with my...
Can we play my favorite game? Let's name the songs of Katie Lang.
Constant
couldn't
Craving.
name one.
Constant Craving.
There's one. Could you name one, Bag Milk?
No.
Me neither.
0.
Can you name one, Jer?
Constant Craving.
No, I know another one.
White
Not the
Christmas.
same one.
She has a Christmas album.
She's collaborated
actually?
with like
White
Elton
Christmas.
John,
Yeah.
Anne Murray.
Yeah.
She's done a lot of stuff.
I was
Crying.
getting her confused with Anne Murray.
Fair.
That's what I thought you were talking about her. But I'm like, wow, this is a massive
Oh,
deal.
she's saying
but-
she was the 49th person to sing Hallelujah, so that's good for her.
Yeah, she had a ballet called Ballalujah.
You know the
Yeah.
That's dumb.
At the Alberta...
Grammy-nominated
Miss Chatelaine. Yeah.
Great jam.
Oh my God! What a
You've heard of
how
that?
did I not know that?
Moonglow with Tony Bennett.
Her song, Constant... I think it was Constant... Oh, no. Anywhere But Here? Is that a song? Anywhere But Here. If that's a song from a Natalie Portman movie, Anywhere But Here, which I recall, where she played a pregnant lady who gave birth in a Walmart. That was a very...
She has a
also
song
searching.
called "I Am Down
Yeah,
to
Anywhere
My
But
Last."
Here.
Anywhere But Here.
That's an amazing song. That is a legitimate,
does
amazing
she
song.
have a song, I Lived in Riverdale?
In a purple house. You know what? She does.
She does.
She does have a song called "I'm Down to My Last Cigarette." I'm not gonna lie to you, I want to hear that.
What do you do when Katie Lang is fucking fake doxing you online and doesn't respond?
I think we get to the bottom of it. To be honest with you, like I said to you earlier, we could pull land titles in that house. You could find out every owner. Now,
she
rented
probably
it.
wouldn't have owned, like if she's
Right.
an artist writing an album, she probably doesn't own a house.
But we
That's
can
how she's
determine
starting
who
out.
owned it
So
during
these
that.
are walls, JR, that won't stop me. Okay, you get around that wall by seeing who did own it. You know when
yeah.
she wrote her first album.
Yeah, that's fair.
We said we were going to do a GoFundMe 2 weeks ago and didn't set that shit up.
Yeah,
I don't,
that
you're
was
supposed to
wild.
have a recurring construction segment that you've never updated. I don't know if like an in-depth Katie
We
Lang
did. I told you
investigation.
guys-
Whatever happened to
Foam
best
on-
and worst?
man.
Buddy, I'm just saying, do we want to open an investigation into Katie Lang? We don't have the resources to close on the back end.
Everything
It's an
stops in that.
open investigation.
Yeah.
How
Consider
is
the
it?
investigation open now.
Still open.
I think you guys are thinking too small. I say we build up a bunch of imaging for like pop culture podcast, trick Katie Lang into joining it as a guest, and then actually just get her on real life.
Start a Katie Lang podcast with the sole goal of slowly building and gaining her trust.
That's
Yeah.
like in the movies
And then
when
getting
you
her
see,
to admit that she lived in that house.
Yeah, as part of like an emotional reveal in episode 173.
We have like a 4-part
And then arrest her for fraud on site.
oh my
And then
God.
just ALS Ice Bucket Challenger in the middle of the podcast and she admits she lived in Riverdale.
Those are the best type of revenge movies, the ones with the long, slow burn, right?
You gotta slow burn it.
Count 'em Monte
8
Cristo.
years to get even.
Well, think how many dots she gave you.
Wow, one for every year.
Yeah, we gotta draw this out.
So if anybody out there knows Katie Lang and can confirm or deny that she lived in Riverdale, DM Wanye.
So you can figure it out. There was a guy, you know that Ice Cube song, Today Was a Good Day?
Of course.
They figured out the exact date he wrote that song.
He had a triple-double.
And then he talked about how the Lakers beat the Supersonics. And he talked about how there's no smog. And they went and figured out.
That just
like,
happened, right?
Yeah. And they figured out the date Ice Cube wrote the song
It
based
took him
on.
that long to figure it out.
No one had done it. Like this, just one guy was like,
Was
oh.
it? Did the guy know that he was getting to an end? Like, did Cube confirm that? Yes, it was about a singular day.
Well,
January
it was-
20th, 1992,
See?
to be specific, which was yesterday in
Yeah.
92.
Isn't that cool? And the guy figured it out. We could do that. We could figure out like when her first album was being written, then pull title and see who owned it in that time period. then fake marry the daughter of the estate because the landlord's probably dead.
Mm-hmm.
Work your way into the family's good graces.
Yeah.
Go into their
There may have to be a marriage.
Fine. Then one night at like a Thanksgiving dinner, you go into the granddad's old
Thank
office,
God.
going through his files.
None of you guys are married in here. There's a
Folder
choice.
pulled out, Riverdale house. Open it up, 4 pages in, Katie Lang photo.
So we
To
got,
my landlord, thanks for my album.
we've got Shadowland that came out in April 26, 1988. Ingenue in March of
Do
92.
the first one.
All You Can Eat in 95. So we have Shadowland in 1988.
Well, that's what people call Riverdale.
Shadowland.
Yes,
Edmonton's
they call it.
garden.
They
It's
do
in the
not
shadow
call,
of the big
Do
city.
they actually call Riverdale Shadowland?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, she lived there for sure.
They also
Fuck
call
this.
it Katie Langville.
Case closed.
Well,
Case
the
closed.
house is on Katie Lang Street.
You mean to tell me you didn't live in a house on Katie Lang Street?
She claims to record it in Juliet, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Well,
recorded,
that's,
but
And
written.
do you know why?
Written
So
exactly.
you'd write it, then you'd
The
fly.
song,
and then you fly
on,
to Tennessee.
the song
Yes,
on
that's how it goes.
Shadowland, I'm down to my last cigarette, wouldn't be a big deal if you didn't live in Riverdale.
'Cause there's
and
no
there was
stores.
stores closed. This is fucking cake.
There were stores down here.
This thing's writing itself.
Not
At that
in
point,
1982?
Riverdale,
Yeah,
Riverdale
the
Grocery
grocery
would have
store.
been right up the hill.
What about the site Umberville's on? That was a grocery
There'd
store.
have been 2 in the end.
Yeah, she
next-
would have had option.
Her next album, 92, was recorded in Vancouver, which is not very far from here if you're just a quick flight away.
Does it say where Shadowland was recorded?
So we need to actually
national.
find. I think we have to also do an excavation because I think we could find the actual last cigarette she's referencing.
Should we start a GoFundMe?
A DNA poll. And then we cloned her.
Hold up. When did Little Brick
We're gonna need
open?
about $2 million for this because we're gonna go deep.
When did Little Brick the coffee shop open?
2014.
No, March of 2015.
I thought it was older than that because she has a song on Shadowline called Black Coffee. And I don't know about you guys, but this coffee shop sells black coffee.
It does.
Okay,
We do.
So on
We do.
Wikipedia, it says that this album was recorded at Bradley's Barn in Mount Juliet, Tennessee.
Recorded. but
Recorded,
written-
yeah, that's right,
written,
right,
though,
yeah,
Chalmers.
yeah.
You're not going to walk in with Sugarland on the
written.
top of your head and just spit 12 tracks of fire. You got to write that shit for a while in Riverdale,
Yeah.
going between 2 locally sourced cigarette stores.
Yeah.
Thus making him down to my last cigarette a question. How can you be out of cigarettes when where you lived recording this album had 2 stores within 2 blocks?
Well, let's find out when the stores closed. Well, no, I still think
We will
they're
need about
open.
$4 million for this.
Yeah, maybe with some
Let's
grant
start a
money for this.
GoFundMe
Yeah.
for
This is
it.
like
Yeah.
this is one of those Canadian heritage things we need.
Yeah.
I went to her website, katielang.com.
Of course, I'm never going to go there
Well,
again.
can you?
She's getting a lot of hits from this right now on the
Edmonton.
online.
Right now, our manager's like, Katie, I don't know what's happening in Edmonton. There's a lot of people searching for you, and they're hitting your
Our
website.
website is buzzing.
We could cold call her management office or we could sign up for her newsletter, and that's about it. No option to directly contact her.
Well, you could DM her, but she'll just read it and not reply.
Here's what we do.
Ice cold.
We get business cards printed up with fake Vanity Fair logos on them. And we find out where Katie Lang is hanging socially, and we show up and we talk about this series we're writing for VF, we'll call it, because we work there.
Of course.
Where were you when you wrote your first album?
Yeah.
Wrote.
And there's a
Which
cover.
house in Riverdale
There's a
did you
cover
live
in it,
in
Katie.
specifically?
There's a cover in it, and we love your work. And we thought we came to you first because Constant Craving was a wicked song. We just need you to talk about where you were when you wrote your album. So help me God, if it's Riverdale, I'm going to go to Real Vanity Fair
I
and write
feel
an
like
expose.
I feel like there's a better than 50-50 chance that this actually gets solved. I'm feeling good about this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Better
I don't
than
think
50-50?
I don't think our
I mean,
intra
most of the things we
podcast
talk about, they're about 50.
our intra podcast work falls to low levels in between shows. We intend to do it.
It's the All-Star break.
There you go.
And the
Doxing Katie Lang
And
is all
all
we
the
did to
Oilers
keep
are
busy.
somewhere cool. They get
Are
to
they?
go. Oh yeah, well,
Of course, I would
you know,
Where they all go?
Well, some guys
Connor
went
and
to
Leon
Cabo,
are in Aspen.
and Nurse and Neil. And they
Because
flew
where-
in. Oh, they flew on a jet.
Yeah.
Where is the All Star game?
St.
It is in
Lou.
St. Louis.
Why would they go to Aspen then? Why don't they go somewhere close?
Isn't Connor at the
Oh,
All-Star
it's
game?
probably what another. They're on a private jet. Everything's like another an hour away. They're fine.
You know what you could do with a private jet, Chalmers?
Fly.
You could fly straight shot to Medellin in under 8 hours.
I heard about this.
But they were McDavid and Drysdale and them. They were on a private jet, right? They they
like
went
a
down to
ball in
Aspen.
one.
Yeah,
Big one.
It looked really cool. They are in Aspen, enjoying the cold, not skiing. I heard that pro athletes can't do stuff like that.
Yeah, because didn't Joffrey Lupul snowboard, and that's what voided his contract with the Leafs?
No, he was hurt. He was on the IR, and he's saying that like it's that the Leafs are actually like forcing him on the IR, and he's fine. And he posted a video quickly of him snowboarding, then quickly took it down.
Where is he now, Chalmers? Where is
doing
he
a lot of
now?
spit and chicklets interviews.
Yeah.
Is
Hey,
he?
don't!
Yeah.
I gotta bleep that out now. Good one, Chalmers. Can't say spitting chicklets on here.
We can't?
Right. No.
Well, we can say whatever we
I'm
want.
just kidding. Jeez.
Oh, okay.
You know who probably loves spitting chiclets?
I believe you when you say that stuff.
Katie Lang.
Oh,
She's probably like, I like the douchebaggery. Reminds me of how I treat Riverdalians. Poorly.
I don't get what her fucking
It's
problem
okay,
is.
man. No one's listening to this.
Oh, jeez.
For the record, I used to
Shots
like
fired,
Katie Lang.
Did you actually though?
Yeah, man. Anybody who's from Alberta, unless like even if you invented dynamite or something, if you were from Red Deer, I'd still like
Are you a
you.
big
I'll
Jan
straight
Arden
up
fan as
say
well?
because I remember
Susan Aglukark, in fact. Jay's the only other person on earth.
See, yeah, we are old
I saw
family.
Can I tell you something about that song? So, and I don't know how much I want to get into this, but my kids' elementary school this year,
Oh no.
they didn't have a Christmas concert. They had a holiday concert.
Tell me they sang that song.
Every grade sang that song.
Awesome.
One after another or
One
together?
after
It's
another.
a great track too.
But
Never
like
said it
12
wasn't a good
grades in a
song.
row singing that?
Yeah, it gets a little monotonous.
And they're so picture this. Last year, you're in the gymnasium. There's seats everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, lights are low. Place is decorated.
Who's been to Colombia? Someone
they're singing-
says. You don't raise your hand.
And they're singing,
You don't raise your hand.
They're singing a Christmas carol and then a holiday song, right? So they are mixing it up. This year it was lights on, no seats. Parents stood around the middle, around the perimeter. I swear to God, they stood around the perimeter, and then the kids walked in, stood in the middle of the gym, faced whatever way they wanted to, sang this song.
Susan Aglukark. This reminds me of
And
your
then
20th birthday. Remember when you hired all those kids to come in a circle and sing Susan Aglukark? No, it wasn't like his birthday, Chalmers. That was a fake story, man.
Whose birthday?
Jay's 20th.
I've
when
lived
Susan-
a rich and full life.
It was themed Susan Aglukark.
It was.
20th
Should we get into
birthday.
your Anne Murray obsession back in the
So
day?
hold on, no,
Anne
just
Murray. That's wrong.
Rita McNeil.
is there no
That's not my
coordination?
obsession.
Is there no coordination between classes that they're singing the same song over and over
No,
and
it
over
was
and
the
over?
point. That was the point. It was the point of the whole thing.
Oh,
Okay, wait. If that is the point, explain the point.
that's a good point.
Yeah, what is the
I don't know
point?
if I want to explain the point.
You keep
That might
saying-
be the
okay.
point.
Yeah,
It's a
maybe-
conversation starter about unity.
The point is, yeah, that's kind of.
I think
it.
they had
Like,
a lazy music teacher, to be
It's
honest.
not well. I think that the music teacher wanted nothing more than to have it the exact same way it was last year.
Probably got canceled.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. They
Just
wanted
think
to
how
try
easy it would
something
be.
different.
What's the level of
but,
triggered at
yeah.
a school these days with parents? Is the
man.
triggered level through
that,
the roof?
Well, that triggered it because it was like you can be super inclusive to everybody. Right?
But
You
by
don't have to
not
just
having a
cancel it for
party, you
everybody.
include no one. It's like giving everyone unflavored ice cream
Well, that's just
to
it.
not offend anyone.
That's just it.
Oh, you're celiac and you're dairy intolerant. I'm just going to give everybody a blend of ice with no flavoring.
Yeah.
Tepid water.
I
A
Enjoy.
deep breath. Yeah, enjoy. And now Susan Aglukark.
Well, I saw her perform that song before a Blue Rodeo concert with my mom.
Come on.
Yep.
Oh,
It was
wow.
a Young Bag Milk, and I went and saw it.
That's cool.
It was cool.
Is she the most famous Northern First Nations person of all time? Susan Aglukark?
Shania Twain.
She's in Timmins.
She not?
She's, yeah, that's
I thought
north
she
in
had some
Ontario.
First
Well, that's
Nations
not
in her. I
north
don't
in the north.
North.
Like Northwest Territories.
Like Santa-
Anything above Edmonton is north to me.
I would say yes. Like the Arctic Circle is what, 190 kilometers? How much south of the Arctic Circle are we? It's not far.
Oh, no, it's far
I
as
have no
fuck.
idea.
Well,
So I bet you it's 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers away.
What's
probably
the-
more? Well, probably more. Probably 2,000.
Bag milk.
you're in
got
truck.
it.
You know
I've
what?
got the answer
Just
here
hold
for
on. Hold on.
'Cause
You know
it's-
what you're getting into. You know that this is what Oilers talk
Because
looks
it's
like.
it's the 66 parallel, and we're on the 53rd.
Bag milk knows the answer.
I've got it for you.
Yeah.
From Edmonton to the Arctic Circle is 1,448 kilometers.
Bang! Price is Right rules. Give me the car and the trip.
So let's put that into perspective. Is that like Edmonton to Vancouver?
If you did one,
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because it's 12 hours to Van.
if you did
But
a
it's just
straight
such a-
shot from Medellin to the northernmost private airplane hangar resort landing strip deal, and hit it all for 40 years, and just slowly went up north to access your stash,
Yeah.
one and done. You'll never get
sounds
caught.
like
You'll
a-
never get caught.
Terrible plan.
Edmonton to Vancouver, Chalmers is 1,159 kilometers.
Oh, so a little bit less.
A little bit less.
Well, okay. Well, then put in the driving kilometers to the Arctic Circle. Because I
You
bet
can't
you
drive
that's
all
like
the
a
way
crow
there.
fly Yes, you can. Of ride. course you can.
No, you got to dog sled for a bit.
No. I know
paved roads
I
all
drove
the way
there
to the
2
Arctic
summers
Circle.
ago.
Yeah.
Paved roads all the way to the Arctic Circle?
No, it's gravel once you get to. You have to take like the
What?
Inuvik like
Shut
exit.
up.
Yeah, it's called. It's got a name for the
drove
road.
to
I can't
Alaska?
remember, but it's gravel from there on in.
You drove to Alaska. It's legit.
I drove up to Dawson. Yeah. So the furthest north I went was Dawson City,
that's not
which
the
is
Arctic Circle.
Yes.
It's like 400 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle.
All right, so the
That's
closest
still 400 kilometers south?
Oh, there's another way to get there. At that point, you can turn right, but that way it's long.
closest I can get is the Arctic Circle sign, which
fair.
is 3,248 kilometers or 37-hour drive.
Go.
You split that up.
Go Edmonton to like.
We each take shifts.
Go Edmonton to Inuvik or
You see
sorry,
how
Inuvik.
many kilometers you can drive in 14 hours straight? Then try to beat your record.
That's right.
Quick way to drive to Alaska.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Best of 7.
Okay, it's tough. Yeah, you got to do it as a team.
Yeah.
You got to do it in an RV so you can lay in the back and sleep.
Yeah, but it has to be like a new RV. You got to risk breaking down. I'm sure
All
there's
right.
no cell service for
Yeah,
all of that.
Inuvik.
This is really this is what we're talking about. Your kid's Christmas concert still technically right now, John.
Edmonton to
I know.
Still
Inuvik.
only on our third topic.
My,
of the show.
my retirement went into selling basically mule and drugs. My kid's Christmas concert went into fucking Arctic Circle driving.
Well, we had some Katie Lang beef sprinkled in there. That
If
we're
you
not.
don't want to do a 24-hour trip to Medellin and retire by Friday, that's on you. You want to keep working? That's great. I gave you 3 days, one and done, never have to work again.
Nah,
You
the
never
risk-
miss
the
another
risk is not
podcast.
the risk is not worth the reward. I don't
For
think.
one and done, I bet your chances of getting caught are 1 in 5.
I bet you it's like pretty.
I'm
fucking
still not
good.
risking a 20% chance of
Yeah,
going to
me
prison.
neither.
It's all going to be based on your prior behavior and what you do after.
What do you mean? What I do after?
With your money when you do the one and done.
Yeah, you gotta
have
keep
you
it low.
seen me? I'd fucking buy a Ferrari and
No,
like
I gotta lay low, man.
drive it back and forth from my new house in.
Can that be the name of the podcast? I'd buy a Ferrari.
Yeah, I would buy Katie Lang's house and knock it down and, then put up
and
a
the-
sign that says, maybe you weren't here, KD.
And the one license plate would be 1NDUN.
See, the investigators would be like, I think he might have brought in cocaine.
Maybe
But
they
after
just-
his license plate is one and done.
Maybe they
Case
just
closed though.
respect
Like
me.
transaction done, no proof to it.
Exactly.
They can
Never
just
do it
speculate.
again.
That's all they got.
Never answer phone
And just
calls.
never admit to anything.
If they send you an Evite
Don't
to
tell
Drug
anyone you're
Co,
doing it.
you go, nope, decline.
Half of it would probably be gone on the way back. Just kidding.
Too far, all right?
Not allowed to talk about drinking Red Bulls. Tell us that joke.
Oh, I quit
family
those
podcast.
again. Whew. It's been tough.
We'll see. We got a ski trip coming up.
No, I'm not drinking them.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
No. I got new reasons not to drink them bad boys.
Oh, like health?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll-
I'm running a bit of a higher blood pressure than most.
Well, I could have told you that. You've been fucking spazzing for 40 years.
I do. That's why I'm trying to be relaxed today. Because
You gotta take care of your ticker, man.
You got
for sure. And I'm literally 2 weeks away from turning 40. So shit's getting real, bro. It's getting fucked.
My older brother lives in Vancouver. Sometimes will give me like a look at the future. So when we were like 26, I remember 25, he's like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, we're going to go play poker at my friend Josh's house because we do that every Thursday. He's like, oh, really? 5 years? No one's going to be able to do that anymore. It's all like sour.
Does he give
and
you the
old.
like watch the guy that gets so drunk he can't even stand?
No,
up
he's like,
in
"Well,
5 years.
all your friends are going to be weddings in the next 3 years. We're going to 6 weddings this summer, blah, blah, blah. He warned me like 2 years ago when everyone turns 40, you'll probably go to 30, 40-year-old birthday parties and watch all your friends be like, I don't feel it.
Speaking of getting married, one of our best buddies is getting married here, eh?
Talia Remchuk.
Yeah, congrats, buddy.
Who's
Good for
getting
you,
married?
man.
Mandy's.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But
still
we knew
wait.
that. But with Stag,
Yeah.
we have a reason to have a Stag all of a sudden again.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a stag in June. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's fun.
Renting a castle in Fernie.
Yeah, fuck, it's
it looks
huge.
like.
It is like if those walls could talk, they'd say orgy,
Yeah.
straight shot,
Not
one
from-
and done.
but not from
straight
us,
shot.
not
Pays
from
for this.
ours.
Yeah, straight shot. This is your house, one and done. That's what that wall would say.
Oh my God.
Oh jeez.
Oh, hey.
I don't know if I want that house if it's been
Let's punch the mic off
orgied
the
in a
table.
bunch of times.
Oh, it's been orgied in. That house has been orgied in for sure.
For sure.
For sure. It's like
Fernie?
16 bedrooms, man.
Yeah.
If you get over 15 and you haven't had an orgy, I think they take your house away.
What?
The bank
I'm gonna look
repossesses
at
it.
what area
The
of
bank
the
comes and
building
gets
code
it.
is that in? I'll look it
The
up.
improper use
16.84
Yeah,
fund.
section C.
Yeah.
Speaking of exciting things that we're looking forward to, Vegas is a month away.
Oh,
Vegas is a month away, so we just wrapped up hosting the Finns for a week.
Yeah, yeah.
How
was
did that go?
Oh god, these guys had
Tiring, hey? You look
Well, they
you don't
had-
look tired, but
so as I'm getting older, I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible. So I told them I'd go out with them 2 nights out of the 9 that they
you're
were
like
here.
a Kentucky tour guide.
Just hold
now.
on.
That's
You-
what I felt like.
Just one
I
night,
felt
guys.
like-
Just
I
one
felt
night.
like
you hosted them here and you weren't with them every minute of the day.
I was with them. I would take them out and then I would let them be at about 10 o'clock every night. They were all set up. They were like I got them to where they needed to be. They were set up, and then I would let them be, and then reconvene in the morning for lunch. And then I was bouncing. I was working and then going to like lunches and then bouncing back and forth. So I was still juggling. So I was pretty impressed, but I was running tired. But those guys had quite the journey to get here. God bless them for finding the best in everything. But those guys came down and they had fun. They didn't let minus 35 slow them down.
I know a lot of people that said they could hear them in the arena.
And they were tamed. So like the first game, I was like, gotta get some chance going. And so they would.
Larvinen's quote though.
Yeah, well. And so I'm like, Larvin, you gotta keep it up. And he's like, but no one comes, like no one joins us. And I'm like, that's okay. Like we're just learning. And so like, whatever. But then we had this talk in the intermission. He goes, Jay. And he's just like sleeping. He's like, this arena is like a Buddhist temple.
Oh, that's sad.
So he's giving me the sleep. I'm like, I know. I'm like, what we need to do is we need to get 300 Finns in a section here for like a month.
Yeah.
And set up shop and then just do everything. And then everyone will kind of gravitate towards what you do. But they did some chants. One of the funny ones was, Pecorino was in net for Nashville and we were in the attack twice zone, so we got to see him a lot. So they were just chirping him in Finnish. Oh, it was so fucking funny.
Mind my ignorance, but can Swede speak Finnish and Finnish can speak Swede?
That is very ignorant. No, they cannot.
Well, then why if they chirped him in Finnish, what would he care?
Pecorino is from Finland.
I thought he was.
So we're gonna keep on trucking along.
Wow, do you have a button on that thing that makes a noise?
No.
I thought we had 4 buttons. The Roadcaster Pro.
No.
I have like 50 some buttons I can scroll through. None would be able to do anything for that moment.
Wow. That's like
applause.
Letterman thrown over to Schaefer to like hit the cymbal, and Schaefer's like out
I
getting a
don't know
booster
where
juice.
every goddamn goalie's from. Pecorine?
So-
Hey, how do I know? Could be Swedish.
One of the
Plus
guys-
he wears yellow jerseys all the time. Nashville.
One of the guys in the trip, Tommy, was the one leading all the chants, like, and they're saying like just like some vile stuff and like, you know, pull out your wang, like show like what I'm saying, all this stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And so like they would say it, and then like all the Finns would laugh, and then like some people around us would be like, yeah, what he said, and then that gets another laugh. So Larvinen, being the guy he is, took a video of Tommy saying all this stuff and he posted through his channels. And then the next 2 days later, when Phoenix came to town, Larvinen lined up a meet and greet with Antti Ranta, who is from Finland, Chalmers.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, no, you do know now.
You do know now.
I'm not listening.
And so they went and met with him, and like, and Antti Ranta saw Tom, and he's like, if you say that to me, you know, you're the guy. If you say that to me during the game, he's like, and if we win, I'm gonna like yell at you and wave my stick at you after the game. But obviously, he got shelled, thank God, and that didn't happen.
That's awesome.
But it was funny that it got to the player, right? So like Tommy's just like smiling ear to ear because he got to meet an NHLer.
Yeah.
Thanks to Larvinen for lining that up, and then for him to be like recognize him, and he went from like 2 Snapchat followers to like 10,000. Oh, it's funny. Well, this is the influence of Larvinen. Larvinen is like legitimately a big deal.
He went from 2 snap followers to 10,000.
Yeah.
So now is he just like T-fence
He's
terrified?
Which is like every day, like you can tell he's pumped about. He's like, "Oh my god, Jay, just look!" Like, oh, he's like, I got another 1,000 followers. He's like, what do I do with this? I'm like, you're a celebrity.
Get your dick out.
You're a celebrity. Yeah,
Did you
Get your dick out.
You guys plan this for Finns to come here when there was playing 2 Finn goalies?
Yeah.
Well,
There's Finns
Yes.
on a lot of NHL teams.
so like
No, but 2 goalies? That's just gotta be a coincidence.
that's coincidence of the goalies. We always try to plan for Finns.
There's Finns on every team.
Mostly, yeah.
Guaranteed there's one fucking team without a Finn.
There might be,
Guaranteed.
but that's worth checking. But the Finns are infiltrating the NHL. But anyways, they came and they had a blast, and we had some fun. And so now they're back, and now we're starting the works on planning a 20-person trip to Finland in September to go watch how they do things in their hockey games.
That line that it's a Buddhist temple was heartwarming and heartbreaking.
I know.
Heartwarm breaking, I call it.
It was bittersweet because it's so fucking funny and accurate, but so disappointing that it's funny and accurate.
Chalmers, there are 47 active Finns currently playing in the NHL.
Sweet.
So you'd be real close to 1 on every team.
Chalmers, how many teams
What
are
if
there in
there's
the
like
NHL?
5 on 32?
Not yet.
Nashville does
Not
have a
yet.
lot because they have Saros, they have
No,
Rene,
man, I'm
they have
living in the
Granlund.
Yeah. And Carolina. Carolina is basically mini team Finland.
Yeah.
You guys are surprised I don't know this stuff, but like, why would I know this stuff?
Because you know everything.
Miko Salamaki.
You're one of my least stumpable friends.
Not when it comes to stuff like that, like nationality of every.
I feel like you do, though. I feel like you sit down and you're like, oh, yeah, that reminds
I
me of the
purposely talk to
linebacker
you.
that was born in blah and went to Charleston.
Because I
blah.
purposely talk about the things that I know right now.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a good lane to stay in.
That's because I tend to talk about the things I know.
You want to talk
It's a
about the
good move.
Astros baseball scandal? I can
Oh, we should talk about that a
fucking
bit.
dive that. We're going to talk about Super
You know
Bowl.
what I actually want to talk about? One day I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to talk about it, things other than Katie Lang. Was the fucking Aaron Hernandez documentary.
Oh, I gotta don't
so
say
good.
anything yet. I
is
haven't
so
started
good.
watching it,
So
but I'm
good.
starting to watch it
Wow.
So I started this documentary on Friday night at around 10 o'clock, and I went to bed at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Not because just that doc is it's three sections of 1 hour, right? But I started watching it, and then all of a sudden the preview for Don't Fuck with Cats came on.
Oh, that shit's
Did you watch
intense.
that too?
Dude, yeah,
Is
man.
that good? 'Cause I heard it's
You
fucked
watched
up.
all of that.
so good.
You watched all
Yes.
of Aaron Hernandez, then Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Were
a
you
big
up
night.
It was
like
a long night. And it was like one of those things where I looked at the clock and it was 10 to 4, and I was like, holy shit.
That's a lot of death
what
for you
the
on a
hell?
Friday.
4 in the morning.
It was a lot. Yeah.
I could have got to
Lot of
Medellin
rides?
and back.
Straight
Straight shot.
No, here's the thing. I was so into it, and the time was going by so fast. I actually was drinking a rusty nail, and it lasted for about an hour and a half, and then I poured a second one. You know what a rusty nail is?
That's
I don't think I do.
That's Scotch and Drambuie.
That's right. It's 3/4.
Drambuie, very underrated liquor.
No.
Drambuie is super good.
Yes.
I thought you said you're turning
is
40,
awesome.
not 70.
No, but
Well,
What are you drinking, Cuddy Sark, Mr. Foot? Jesus.
no, you know what? It was a nice Drambuie with a nice, I think I won a Doers in that golf tournament we were in.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
mixing it with that, but it's really, really good. My granddad used to drink them, and so on
You're
like
becoming your granddad, man.
I know, but
That's okay.
I know. So we have a little tradition where we have one of those every year on the day that he died, and now we just drink them because they're fucking good.
They are.
And so,
yeah.
so I was
they
drinking
are
those
good.
because I didn't want to go upstairs and keep having to pour Ryan Cokes. I tend to drink them quite quick, and
Standing in your
but
pool and
I was just in
Chandler?
awe. Like, and I wasn't even drinking it because I was just like so mesmerized by the fucking shit that was happening on the TV.
All I could think of watching this Aaron Hernandez document is whose life could stand up to this quality of documentary writing. Like a team of people basically went and contacted everybody you've ever met and threw Netflix money at them until your old high school quarterback's doing the dot. Like, whoa,
I know.
woo, boy.
Yeah, we
lots
won't
to
ruin
unpack
it for
in that
anybody, but if you haven't watched them, go watch them.
Do it.
And don't do it all in one night.
It's
If
on
you've
my
never
to-do.
watched
or
football.
if you do, Rusty Nail.
Dusty, nail it up.
If you're a mixologist out there, a rusty nail is 3/4 ounce of Drambuie and 1.5 ounces Scotch whiskey.
Ooh,
There you
that's,
go.
That's 5 ounces of fun right there. Oh no,
Anything-
sorry,
and-
3/4 ounce.
It's just over
Not
2
a
ounces.
five.
That's just the rate.
I
JR.
thought that was
17
3
ounces.
I thought that was 3. And I mean, my math is still wrong.
JR, that's just the ratio. Okay, you actually go like 1.5 of Drambuie and then to the top.
Ah,
But
nice.
you got to have
lots of
ice.
ice.
That's
Yeah,
a
lots of
big
ice.
boy
That's nice,
rusty
that's
nail
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
Any-
yeah.
stops
Big boy
you-
hockey.
Stops you from having to go upstairs. But I had to get up at 8 a.m. and go to hockey too for the sun. Yeah, that was a rough one.
That's a grind.
But that's okay because you only need about 30 minutes of sleep to pop up twice as
I
energized.
popped up pretty quick. Yeah, I had a workout even too that day.
In the morning. In the morning.
My life.
You are
no,
resilient,
no,
sir.
After I came home.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Got to take care of that.
And then I
ticket,
had
man.
to, and then I went to, you know where we went after that? You guys might find this interesting.
Medellin.
To the BP's up in Bell Tower, not to Medellin. No. We went to the BP's with my son's second year novice hockey team, and then went to the Grant McEwen Griffins and the,
Oh, in the arena at the-
Concordia Thunder hockey game.
Oh, I've been good hockey.
At Rogers?
and that's a pretty cool little
Yeah,
fucking arena there.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I got a big. Here's my. I'm keeping it 100. Start serving alcohol in there. The fuck is wrong with you? Like, who,
Let's bring it back for kids games.
in that it's a junior, it's a college game.
They don't serve booze.
They
college
don't
booze?
serve booze. They don't have a concession open.
That's a
There's
miss.
absolutely zero.
That's a
the
miss.
only thing they had was these thunder sticks that they gave all the kids, and they just ended up all over the place, right? Like if we could have given, and the kids are running around, man. We could have given all these kids popcorn. They probably would have sat for a little longer, right? They didn't even have a concession open. So like, we had a couple beers in the BPs, and then just drive for the rest of the night.
Here's what you do.
The casino's right there.
You go get a stroller and you go and get a child's snowsuit and you pack it full of bags of popcorn.
This place is very well lit.
Get it past security because they're like, oh, that guy brought a baby in a stroller.
Yeah.
Trojan horse popcorn.
All popcorns, all margin.
All margin.
And
Salt
the
everyone.
arms of this snowsuit are just beers.
Then you take
Yeah,
bets for
yeah.
people for the casino. You say, who wants to play blackjack? I'll go play for you. And then you run back and forth between the casino.
I'm an agent for the casino. I run the sports book. Who are you betting
There's
on?
$20 on black. You lost.
This
And then
is,
you run away.
this is after the Oilers game too, right? So there's still stragglers from the Oilers game in that casino, and I did go in there and during the second and third, me and a guy from the team. Of course, there was like a bunch of us. We went in there, had a quick beer because I mean it was just getting boring at this point, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing. So we go in there, and there is this guy in this Oilers jersey, and he is 10 out of 10. Like, can't even see, can't even talk, head on sideways.
Matinee hockey, baby.
And his girl is like a young girl, and she's put a $20 bill in the American Dream.
The big tall one.
The big tall slot.
I mean, what's a slot machine?
So it's $1 a spin.
Yeah, and the big
5 lines. Her first spin, she gets the bonus. The bonus is you spin this wheel, she gets 100 free spins.
Holy
she
shit.
wins $1,200. And the guy's like,
life-changing.
it was the guy's $20. And she's like, is this good? What's happening? We're like, oh my God. You're winning
like, no, leave.
$1,200. Yeah.
I would have married her. I would have married her for her money.
So then she starts yelling at the guy, what do you want me to do with the like? And I'm just like, I can't fucking watch.
We're going to go to Medellin.
These people are really going to print out this cash out ticket and like not know what the hell they have and like walk. I don't know. It was fucked. It was hilarious to watch them, but it was crazy to watch how they one straight up spin.
One and done.
One and done. Like
how
your
you do it.
boat.
The American Dream. And I think it was
Like
called the
your
American
boat.
Dream.
That is the American dream.
Sensational.
Man alive.
Sensational.
Your M-Check's got I'm going to wrap this shit up face on right now.
No, I just wanted to quickly plug who we have coming up on the show next week.
Well, talking about documentaries, everyone I think has probably seen the trailer for the Connor one that's coming out this weekend.
We have Connor.
Yes.
Yeah, Chalmers.
He got involved because of our GoFundMe that's doing so well.
Everyone who's
coming back from
listening,
Aspen.
100% accurate. Connor McDavid in studio.
I have never seen this documentary.
Trailer.
Well, I'm going to show it to you, and it's just like I bet you a lot of us suspected that it was more severe than it was because they were keeping it such like a state secret, and now they kind of let the details out about actually how bad his injury was.
But this is what confuses me about this documentary. I haven't seen it yet. Why would they be filming it all? What are they going to like catch on camera if Connor got the bad news, his knees toast? Like, why would you allow camera crews to be around you?
Because Adidas spends a lot of money, or Sportsnet spends a lot of. It's an Adidas Sports Center BioSteel, probably.
Yeah.
Our good friend Shane Fennessy, who we had on in the past to talk about this kind of stuff, he was on that crew.
Yeah.
So he'll join us next Tuesday, 2 o'clock. We're going to get the ins on all this shit.
Yeah, we'll find out more. Why the fact that like he didn't tell us shit about this in our off mic conversation.
No, man, because he's actually legitimately hooked up and cool.
He keeps it 100.
Yeah.
But on McDavid's injury, this was Ryan Rashog's tweet. We haven't gotten to it yet this episode, right?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
No, it was mostly Katie Lang related.
Yeah.
Who's Ryan Rashog?
Ryan Rashog from TSN.
Yeah.
What's TSN?
Tweeted, after speaking with a member of McDavid's camp, some follow-up on his knee injury. Roughly 10 days after the injury, McDavid was informed that major reconstructive surgery was required on his torn PCL. It would have cost him the entire 2019-2020 season, would have involved grafts, screws, and could have fundamentally changed the way his knee worked and the way he skated. They sought out 3 more opinions, and rehab was eventually presented, which McDavid took. It had its risks, as there was no guarantee that the PCL would heal properly on its own, but a strict regimen of stabilization, diet, and thorough rehab allowed it to heal. They kept the information extremely guarded throughout the process, and it explains why McDavid was there was a bit of tension when he was back at training camp. So Rashog kind of explained it all. Like, we were very close to not seeing Connor McDavid for a calendar year and potentially never seeing Connor McDavid at this level again.
Oh my God.
Imagine that was his career arc.
Like that,
Imagine it was goes to Oilers. Everyone says the Oilers are going to ruin his career. Breaks his fucking collarbone. Thank you, Brandon Manning. Had 3 unbelievable years. Torched his knee and done.
Like, and that shit happens, man, in a lot of sports where generational players get fucked up like that. Like, we were close to that. That's fucked.
Like,
He's
Connor's
not
still
human though, right? Like, how has he come back rehabbing 6 months later? He's back at
Stem
first
cells,
game
baby.
of the fucking season, and he looks all world.
Yeah, what a
right now.
champion.
We're
How
going
the
to see
hell
how
is that?
hard he worked, because then you're going to find out what makes Connor McDavid.
He's just bathing his knee in BioSteel drink.
Yeah.
Hey, he's just drinking the pink. His
You
knees
don't sip
immediately
the pink,
fixed.
you rub the pink at that point.
Yeah. But having Shane on next Tuesday is going to be fucking
Super.
awesome.
Oh,
like,
man.
this guy was...
He would have been working on this in like May.
This is the difference between real cools
Before
and the
the
rest
injury.
of us. Your M-Check, you might
No.
be a cool later on in life. I don't
6th.
know. We would be bragging about talking to Connor McDavid. Real cools are like, I'm not even going to bring it up.
I'm actually also impressed that the Oilers were able to keep it as tight as they were. They were living the
probably
snitches
didn't
tell
even know.
stitches
The
lifestyle.
chairman of Adidas probably came over here and like put fucking Nicholson against the wall. He's like, let us make a movie. Okay.
Yeah, it is fascinating. Another thing that was fascinating, you mentioned I had my wrap it up face on, but that's because we have a guest coming up here to end the show.
Truth.
Sam Costa, you might know her on Twitter as Sam and Yeg. She sent out the tweet saying that in response to the billboards that CJ was putting up in the city, she wanted to raise money for a Calgary charity, some goodwill and mixed into the rivalry. She donated $25 to Brown Bagging It in Calgary. $2 is all it takes to feed a child for a day, I believe. It sparked a movement, $37,000 raised in total. 560 people have donated $10,000 from Brett Wilson, which is awesome. Our friends at ATB chipped in $2,500 as well. This was cool though, hey?
Brett Wilson gave 10 grand.
Yeah, he
She said if she hits 10 grand, he'll match it. And then he said, if you hit 20 grand, I will fly you to Nashville to watch a hockey game.
Who's Brett Wilson? Sorry.
Our GoFundMe could have done this.
For tip?
If you just see it through.
You can answer me. Who's Brett Wilson?
Brett Wilson
he was
is
a Dragon.
quarterback. Nope.
He was the lead singer of the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
And lived in his bed
Brian
for a
Wilson.
few years.
That's Brian Wilson.
and
He's
now
the
he's out of his
volleyball.
bed and he has money.
So nobody
He's the
knows who Brett
volleyball on the
Wilson
island with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, you just never knew his first name. It was Brett.
Brett Wilson.
Well, before we go to Sam, let's just talk about how lame that billboard design is that Calgary's putting up.
Nice font.
And apparently they're putting it up, by the TSN studios?
Oh, you wait till you
What
see.
font? Papyrus?
That's the only billboard it'll be up at because CJ is a Bell Media station.
Yeah,
you
like-
wait till you see the response. Because
Horrific execution.
Little
Just
call and answer from our friends over
be better. Come at us, bro.
Who said bad? Look, like the font. Who said the font?
Me.
What is it? What,
there. They use wingdings.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just poorly designed.
it was Papyrus.
Chalmers, I don't know if you know this, but everyone in Calgary is an idiot. And they're like, oh, I guess we should do a billboard. And they're like, does anyone here have any graphic design talent or wit? Not a soul stepped forward. Unlike when I went to Medellin
So
when I
where are
stepped
these?
forward.
Okay, so they're actually doing the billboard thing.
yeah, it's
When
gonna
is
be
it
up
gonna
on.
be?
It's gonna be up on the Bell Media billboard outside like the TSN Bear station there. And then after that one goes up, there will be a response on behalf of Oilers fans that will go up right after it. And it's actually good.
If these idiots want to get into a billboard war,
I like that we have a exactly. Don't fucking
not fuck around.
We will legitimately start a fucking GoFundMe.
There will be a GoFundMe.
And we will flood your fucking city.
Every single
with a
billboard.
Powerful message.
You guys are throwing out a lot of GoFundMe.
Powerful message. And then we'll go to Medellin on a one and done. And
yeah,
call
I'm
it a
20
life.
minutes away from a GoFundMe most of the day.
What would your billboard say?
One and done.
See you
With
later.
a
life.
map to Medellin with a dotted line of the fastest plane route.
Future me with money in your hands, throwing it in the
Chalmers
air?
with an arrow and you with money bags. Retired. That's my billboard.
What is their billboard going to say? I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's basically like you guys stink. Like
Yeah.
it's just like
It says the Matt Kachuk Friendship Tour.
yeah, like woo-wee.
The font, Chalmers.
Do you think he's going to fight Cassian?
Sans serif.
Don't you think he should just line up and get it over with?
Yeah, but he could have
probably
done
won't.
that multiple times.
He
and
probably
hasn't.
won't. That Calgary's stance, apparently, from Eric France's biggest fucking blowhard puppet there is in media, states that it should be handled by Lucic or Ronaldo. So my answer is Zach
Ronaldo
should-
plays soccer.
Well, exactly, and he's from Sweden.
Who does Zach grab then if that happens?
What's that?
Who does Zach go after? What is
Well,
your,
Bill Peters.
He's gonna fight whoever fights him, but I just hope he fucking goes and tries to take a run at like Monahan, like he did McKinnon in the first shift in that Colorado game. Like if he does
All
that,
hell will break
that
loose.
will fucking set the tone. And George Peros hopefully goes back into like fighter mode,
Yeah.
and is eating that popcorn that he was able to buy because the concessions are open. And he paid,
Yeah, exactly.
He paid $12, but he used his NHL access card to get 15% off.
Can somebody explain to me what George Peros thinks he's doing by coming here?
It's like making a statement. I'm going to come and like, is
he coming to Edmonton?
I guess yeah,
Yeah,
he's coming to watch
that
the game.
game.
I
Oh,
guess
that's
maybe,
all right.
I guess maybe he can see the context of the game better than just video, but like
Maybe we could get him to swing by and pick up his hockey bag that he is sitting in our studio.
maybe.
Look, if you're going to narc us out to the director of
That
player
was from a one
safety,
and done.
what if he has a bad blood with Edmonton as a result of that bag being kept that long and then he suspends Cassian for an extra game?
All the better reason to
'Cause
get
you
that Medellin,
snitched.
man.
Whatever.
Go to Medellin.
There's an Anaheim Ducks bag in here that I'm told was George Peros.
It is.
So I'm just saying it's taking up a lot of space, and now that we're friends off with him, maybe he could come grab it.
I like George Peros.
I got a lot of time. He's got the worst position in the universe right now. And I know it's not solely his discretion, his decisions. And sometimes he's listening and being told what to say, but
But this is what he got with this job. It's like when Shanahan had this job.
And
it's just everybody freaking out and saying you're an idiot.
Well, people on the other side, but I get the arc that he's trying to go on. He takes that position, he gets a chance to interact with all of the GMs in the league and all the.
You can come here, talk to the media directly,
right? So it allows him there's
a politician's move.
There's a plan there.
It's like showing up at the disaster site and shaking hands.
You start as the school superintendent or trustee.
Yeah.
Then you become an alderman.
Yeah.
Then you become the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Then you fly to Medellin.
Yeah. Straight shot.
No
one sees it coming.
And then if you go to jail, you got that political pension money to bail out on. That's the real way to do
That's
it.
why
We've
Perros
given
is
a
here.
lot of good life advice.
Chalmers, if you ask the questions,
This is a wealth management podcast.
This is a wealth management podcast.
Like for Well Simple?
Yeah.
You're not still using Mom and Dad's guy, are you? You're not still not going to
No,
Medellin,
Well
right?
Simple, it should be a one and done.
But aren't they owned by TD Canada Trust, the same people that you're yelling about in the ad?
It's
I
like
have no
Expedia
idea.
and Kayak and all that.
They're all in bed
Hey,
together.
did you ever see the Trivago? Sorry, do you know the Trivago commercial?
Yeah. That guy got a DUI.
Where the guy's
Trivago
she's paying for a room and it's like $120, but then the guy, he goes to pay for it and she says the person says 97 and she won't give her credit card up. She's like, what the fuck is this?
Talking
Why am I
about
paying so
Handsome
much?
Dad?
Yeah, but you know the Trivago commercial?
Yeah.
The woman is Wendy from Breaking Bad. The prostitute. Wendy, the drug addict. Just go and watch the commercial.
I've never seen Breaking Bad.
I'm trying to think the process.
Wendy.
They're both checking in. And
No. I know the scene. Where in Breaking Bad do I know her from?
She's a prostitute that lives in the hotel, and she gets her meth from what's his name? Aaron Paul. What's his name in the show?
I keep DMing Sam and Yeg being like 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. Are you done with your unnecessary facts?
Yeah.
What does she need to do?
She got to do the interview.
You didn't give her an hour runway of when we could do this?
I was under the impression it was done. Okay, bye everybody.
This was a good podcast. Next week we have Shane Fantasy to talk about the McDavid thing. That'll be cool as well.
Wendy.
Wendy, fucking Wendy.
Back-to-back Mary Brown's Pop-Ins brought to you by Mary Brown's and their delicious Pop-In chicken. Mix in Thai for an extra kick of sweet heat. For the listeners, you might know her as just simply Sam in Yeg, but Sam Costa joins us on the line. We're going to chat a little bit about it turned into a movement, really, Sam, what you did on Twitter. And why don't you just kind of take us through the steps that this has kind of gone through?
Well, it kind of started with the whole billboard idea. Obviously, some people weren't very happy about it. So in response to it, I figured we could poke some fun back, but put the money towards a good cause. And a lot of people enjoyed the idea.
Was there a reason you specifically chose Brown bagging it? Is there a connection there with you?
Well, I kind of just looked up a few charities and I read that they were a favorite of a few people in Calgary. So when I looked into them, I really liked that they were completely community funded. They don't really get any government help at all. And the fact that a small amount of money really goes a long way with them because each lunch is only $2.
Well, we've gotten some legs out of it now because, as I said, it's turned into a bit of a movement here. We're looking at just around or over $37,000 donated from 560 people, $10,000 from Brett Wilson, $2,500 from ATB as well. When you sent out that initial tweet on January 14th, did you ever imagine that it could get this big?
No, I had no idea. Honestly, I really thought we might get a couple $100, but that's a reason why I chose one where the funds would go a long way. It's just because if we didn't get a ton of money or support out of it, then it was still going to help a lot.
And Sam, when did you, as you put out your tweet, when did you kind of see the numbers of retweets and likes growing to the point where you thought, oh man, this is turning into something?
Right away, actually. Like, I think I sent it out on my lunch break at like 12:30. And then by the end of the afternoon, it was already shared a whole bunch of times. So
what kind of messaging or feedback have you gotten from kind of the general public? Was everybody on board with it right away?
Yeah. Everyone's on board with it. I mean, there's obviously, when it gets that big, there's going to be a couple people who miss the big picture, I think. But for the most part, I haven't had anybody upset about it at all.
Twitter can be like a really, really rough place, especially in the sports community. And I'm sure you've experienced some of that in your time. But an example like this, how much in your mind does this say just about the kinds of people that a lot of Oilers fans are?
It speaks volumes, really, because I know a lot of people are, having hard times in Alberta with the economy lately. So the fact that people were able to give a little bit and have it total the numbers that we got. I mean, in total, just out of the ALS and the Brown Bag Charity and Yes organization as well, I think we got almost $50,000.
Wow.
So it really shows the generosity that people have and the willingness to help the community.
Have you ever had an experience like this where something that you did kind of went viral before?
No, not even close. I think before this, I had like a little over 600 followers on Twitter. It was a pretty quiet time.
I like the little bit you had in there about, the economy in Alberta, and it is a bit of a tough time. And I think maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I think there's a lesson in this where, you're an Oilers fan and you even threw the joke in your original tweet. You're choosing brown bagging it so that kids can get a proper meal and grow up to be tougher than Kachuk. Like, there's Oilers fans, there's Flames fan. The rivalry can be fierce, but at the same time, like, it's Albertans as well, right? Like, you can come together while also being hockey rivals as well.
Yeah, that's right. So it kind of appealed to the larger community sense of the whole province instead of just the individual cities battling each other.
At the same time, I'm sure you're pretty excited for an Oilers win on the 29th as well, right?
I am very excited.
Before we let you go here, can I get a score prediction on the game? And we're going to hold you to it as well.
Oh, a score prediction? I haven't even thought that far. Let's go 4-2 Oilers.
That's what we like to hear. And just my last question for you, Sam. Have you had any, since this all started, you said maybe you had a goal of a few $100s and then it turned into what it is. Have you heard from the people at Brown Bagging about the movement you started?
Yeah, I have heard from them, actually. They've been keeping in contact with me the whole time. They're over the moon excited about it. I don't think they expected it to get this big either. So they've been keeping in contact with me and letting me know exactly where we're at in terms of donations, and lots of thanks from them, actually.
That's awesome. And I think from Oilers fans and from Oilers Nation, from all of us here, Tyler and I just want to say congratulations on starting a really positive movement. I know I saw the billboard thing going up and it was like, yeah, okay, but you actually did something that can make a real difference. So I think you deserve a lot of props for that. So congratulations on this.
Thanks.
And thanks for giving us some time, and thanks for giving Oilers fans a good name, Sam. We really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thanks for supporting it and promoting it and getting everyone on board. You were a huge help. So it really was so awesome just to see everyone come together that way.
There you go. That's Sam Costa, Sam in Yeg for a Mary Brown's Pop. And a big shout out to Mary Brown's for sponsoring all of our great interviews. And we will have a fantastic one coming up next Tuesday as well when we're joined by Shane Fennessy. That's going to do it for episode 155 of Nation Real Life. Again, another shout out to Japa. As pipeline work kicks off in Alberta, Japa Machinery Group has new and used 36 and 47-ton excavators available for both rent and purchase to complement their existing fleets. Love it. Check them out, japamachinery.com. Boys, thank you. It was great. Fantastic. Episode 155 of Nation Real Life is over.